Okay guys, welcome to this video tutorial. So I'm going to show you how to implement or execute the liquidity sweep entry model, right? So just looking at this is more like a downtrend, right? So we want to analyze this particular market to see if we can get a favorable entry or any trade entry at all, right? So first of all, how does the liquidity sweep entry model operate? All right, so what you need to do first is to familiarize yourself with the market structure. Let's just give a best case scenario. So this is more like a textbook scenario rather. It's a downtrend. This is a typical example of a downtrend or how the liquidity sweep entry model occurs in a downtrend, right? So this is it. We have the lower low, we have the higher low, then the lower low, we have the higher low, the lower low, then the higher low, then we have the lower low, then we have the change of character, right? So now the liquidity entry model, where you begin to pay extra attention is when you see a change of character. Now a change of character signifies a weakness in the market trend. Remember, this is a downtrend, but in the moment we had what the previous higher low was broken. This is it. You can see this is where the previous higher low was broken, right? So this has shown us that there's a change in an uptrend, or rather the uptrend is about, the downtrend is about to change to an uptrend. So what we're going to do next is to identify our liquidity. After you've identified your market structure, you've seen the sign of weakness. What you need to do next is to identify your liquidity and take your entry below the liquidity. That's in the downtrend situation, right? So this particular case now, following the law, the liquidity sweep entry model, now this is our liquidity. All right, so we need to find our entry below this particular place, meaning we're expecting the market to come down to this particular place, mitigate this particular liquidity, pick the order block or the entry or the POI, and then it should go up in profit. All right, so this is what we're expecting in the market to come and clear this liquidity here. Okay, stay with me. We're expecting the market to come and clear this liquidity here. Okay, we're expecting the market to come and clear this liquidity here in a manner like this. Or rather, this is where we'll pick up. So we're going to pick our entry slightly below, on a point of interest below, right? So this is what we're expecting to see in this market. Okay, this is what we're expecting to see in the market. All right, so this is what we're expecting to see. Sorry, I want to make this, it's not visible enough. Let me change the color to, let's say, blue. So this is exactly what we're expecting to see in the market now. So let us analyze this particular market here to see if we can spot this structure here and how we can take advantage of it. So let me get my path tool so you can guide me. Right, so this is where I'm going to start from. Right, the market started from here and started cascading downward. So it came here, created a low before it went up to create a higher low, because this high was not as high as this particular, so they call it the higher low. So from here it went down further again to this particular place. This is now a lower low. This is more, you can see already that this is a typical example of a downtrend, right? So we have a lower low here, and the market went up to create a higher high, a higher low, or a lower high, sorry, because this particular high is not as high as this particular one. So you can see this is where from here it went down to create the next lower low, and then from this lower low we had the market pumping up to create a change of character. So this is where we have our first sign of weakness. Okay, first sign of weakness. You can see how I am building up this particular if you observe now, you can see how I'm building up this thing now. I'm trying to build, this is more like sorry, this particular place here, this illustration I did here is more like a textbook illustration of this realistic market. So this is a realistic market, while this is a textbook illustration. Okay, so you can see that we already have the change of character. This is the change of character here. So from every expectation now, we're expecting the market to come down. This is now our liquidity spot, as we are seeing here. So we're expecting the market to come down, clear this liquidity, pick our entry, and go up. All right, so since we've identified our liquidity here, we need to find an entry that is below this particular place. That's where we're going to find our order block or our point of interest. All right, so we're going to look at the market now to see where we can get as our order block. So looking at this market now, this and this forms what we call the trend line liquidity. Okay, I already taught you guys about trend line liquidity. So if you can see, you just connect this one here and this particular one to give us our trend line liquidity, meaning we have to find our point of interest below this particular place. Okay, and then the next place below it is what this fair value gap here. There's a fair value gap here. I already taught you guys what a fair value gap is. So we're going to bring our rectangle tool, then we're going to pick the entire fair value gap. Okay, so this is the fair value gap. If you don't understand what fair value gap is, I recommend you go through the video again. Okay, so now that we've identified our point of interest now, just as we did here, we've identified our point of interest. Now we're going to bring out our position tool and pick and place our entry or pick a trading opportunity. So this is going to be, I'm going to place it at the tip of this box here. Then I'm going to put my entry maybe at this particular point here. Right, so this is it here. All right, so what do we do now? Let's play the market to see. So what we're expecting in the market is we're expecting something like this for the market to go down to trigger our order block, and then I'll trigger our point of interest before it pumps. Right, so this is what we're expecting to see in the market. So we're going to play the market to see if this thing happens. Remember, now this is exactly, remember, this is what I'm trying to illustrate here in the market. So you can see that I just would observe the market structure first, identified my liquidity, which is the liquidity, and then I found my point of interest, which is below the liquidity. All right, so let us play the market and see what would happen. Okay, so you can see, beautiful. Can you see what is happening? The market has what come down as we analyzed, come down, it's triggered it, and then now it's going up as expected. All right, so let us see if it's going to hit TP. Okay, bravo. Right, so this is it. Can you see now? So we have hit TP in this particular trade. All right, so you can see that this one here, whatever we did here is the same thing as we did here. All right, so this is exactly how you use the liquidity sweep entry model. I trust this was helpful to you, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.